I don't want to throw you under the bus here, but if you had to choose now, this is a pivotal point in your career. At this moment, you can be a professional motocross rider, or you can be a professional downhill rider. Where do you go? Okay, welcome to the Ride Companion. We have got bright UK World Cup downhill talent, a privateer on the cusp of breaking the top 30 in the world from the back of his van. Downhill champ, downhill national champ, 20 years of age, TikTok influencer, two-time MX national champ, and a lifetime behind bars. Welcome, Preston Williams.
Oh, that was a good one. Wasn't that a good one?
That was
wasn't bad.
really good.
Thank you for all the kind words.
That was amazing.
No, that's all right. We could even do more. I like the fact as well that this is in Preston's lunch break.
Yeah.
This is how privateer this story is.
And it's 5:30.
Yeah. Can you give a rundown of what's happened, Davey?
And what, of today?
Right now for Preston turning up. Where's he just been and what's he...
I mean, he's probably better to explain, but I'll try.
I just thought...
I don't want to speak for you, Preston, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've just had one guest leave, who this episode may or not already have been out, Joel Anderson.
Yeah.
Keep getting them mixed up.
Yeah.
Then we've gone outside, we've said goodbye to Joel, and then boom, our next guest has rolled up.
After a full day
of work. So he's done a full day of work.
Yeah,
doing cleaning coaches, right?
Coaches, yeah.
He's come back. He's come in. We've gone upstairs for a cup of tea in the green room.
Yeah,
and then he's like, "Oh, I've got to go back to work after this." To which me and you were like, "What? What do you mean going back to work?"
And he's got his uniform on, dude.
Yeah.
It's like the most privateer I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, I just had to come straight here from work, didn't I?
No, I know. It's actually real as well.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
And then straight into work. Is this a normal thing? Doing like is it two shifts, or are we talking one day?
Not really. It's just because since I'm getting my license soon, doing my test soon, I just want to get some experience going around doing some actual driving.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll probably get to my test and crash. So,
so that's a coach test to drive a coach.
Yeah, for my driving license to drive those big old coaches.
Amazing.
So when you run a factory team, you're going to be able to just rock up straight to a World Cup.
Yeah, I'll be looking factory, won't I?
Borrow a coach. If you don't get that far, you could just borrow one.
True.
Load it with bikes and kit, and off you go.
Sign written.
Yeah, take a
I
little
don't know if I
tour out there.
fancy driving a coach around some of those roads,
No,
though. Oh my god, I feel bad for some of the World Cup drivers. Like,
yeah, some of the roads are gnarly, aren't they?
Yeah.
To get to like mountain towns, they always have the gravel runoffs.
Yeah, not a fan of those gravel runoffs. They're scary.
Have
we
you
have
heard
those where I'm from. You don't have them down here, do you?
Well, we don't have any hills.
That's true. We have them.
Which is remarkable that you're really fast at downhill racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Bernard told a story about those gravel things. He drove off it to test one once.
Yeah.
Like no brakes into the gravel after a mountain road. Because you know they're for like cooked lorry brakes,
Yeah.
right? And he actually did it.
And it worked.
but then you
just
get
get grounded.
You can't get back out.
Yeah.
No, he got stuck, yeah.
Oh, great. Well done, Bernard.
And I think it did damage. I think it did damage as well. But I appreciate that he actually went for it and tried.
Full
Yeah,
commitment.
it is like one of those things you want to know, like what actually happens. It's like one of those things you got to do once in your life, right?
I feel like you could YouTube it rather than just drive off the side of a motorway at 70 miles an hour in a lorry. But equally, some people are visual learners, some are actual experiential learners.
Some people it's different.
You never really know, do you?
No. I'm hyped for this episode.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to talk to you. Yeah, I think it's going to be super fun. How I first heard about you, it's this is a random one. Your mum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so your mum goes pretty hard on the LinkedIn.
Yeah, she's like one of my biggest fans.
She is, isn't she?
Yeah.
And honestly, dude, I'm going back years now, but she must have followed me or whatever, vice versa. Yeah. And I started seeing your mum posting clips of you and just genuinely talking really highly of you. And if I'm being brutally honest, I was like, oh, it's just fucking schoolboy mum. Oh, no. Because there's a lot of that, right? Let's just be honest. There's a lot of that, a lot of like, you know, parents that are like massive fans, which is lovely. But I was just like, oh my God, okay. And then I actually started watching them and I'm like, okay, it's legit.
She might be onto something.
She might be onto something. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of how I first, I guess came across you. And I think it might have still been in the moto days, if I'm honest with you as well.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah, she's been
on like LinkedIn for a while, pushing it.
Yeah.
She just chose that avenue, just LinkedIn, she just went for it.
Yeah,
she's like, this is my platform.
It's
cool.
probably because she's like, knew that would probably be the one that I wouldn't do. Because I'm still not on there.
That's true,
Yeah.
Everything that comes on.
So shout out
through
Karen.
road.
She's out there hustling for you, man. It's really cool.
Oh,
Exactly.
good on
It's
her.
like management behind the scenes, isn't it?
Yeah.
It seems like hustling deals maybe and stuff. It's sick. Really cool. So yeah, that's how I first came across
Oh, nice.
you. So yeah, shout out Karen.
Yeah, she'll be actually stoked to hear that.
I messaged her last night.
She'll be so
I messaged her last night. I was like, "We got Preston coming on. You got any inside knowledge for us?" So we'll get into that after.
Oh, nice.
I didn't even know that. So that is
Don't
news
worry.
to me.
She said, "Well, I was like, don't tell him." She's like, "Okay." So yeah, that's how I first came across you. So let's go back to the beginning, dude. Like, talk about obviously you're a 125 national British champion motocross guy, which obviously falls into my remit of being a moto fan and stuff. But yeah, let's go all the way back to the start, if that's all right, and talk about how you first got into motocross.
Yeah.
And then how you became a British champion.
Yeah, so the whole bike side of stuff comes from my dad used to race like road bikes.
Okay.
Used to race like all Shaky Burn and that. He always tells me about that. Yeah, you know how it is. He was obviously the quickest man on one, he reckons.
Yeah.
So
He rode at a pretty high level, your dad?
Yeah, I think so. From the stories that he tells me, how much truth's behind it.
Sounds like he did.
Yeah. So apparently he used to like go out with all the 1000s on his 600 and he'll smoke all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love these stories, dude.
That's what the stories say. So I've actually been on a road bike like that once. I got invited to, I think it's called British Talent Cup or something at Silverstone. It was just loads of people. It was like 100 people that all got selected from different sports to come race these like Honda 300s around the small Silverstone track. And like I was like got invited and I was like, well, I might as well. Done loads of practice on those mini motos. I don't know if you've ever been on them, but they're so funny. You just have like your knee on the ground the whole way around the track. And then went to Silverstone. I think I got into like top 50 or whatever. It was my first time on like a full size road bike.
Wow.
All I wanted was like my knee on the floor at least once. And in my room, I've still got a photo of my knee on the floor.
You get it down?
And I'm all in like my dad's old leathers and stuff as well. Well, funny. But,
what other sports did they take from? Were there any volleyball players or anything?
no, I think there was all biking sports. Like most of them was road racing.
Yeah.
But I think you had like a few trials riders there and stuff as well.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I bet it's insanely hard to get your knee down on a bike.
Yeah.
The trust in the tyres and in the whole thing, right?
Yeah, well, it's just like, you're like, oh, I must almost be there now. And then you like see a photo and you're like still that far away and you're like, I thought I was on the ground. So
a lot of moto guys go that way, they transition into road.
Do they?
There's a few. I think one that sticks out to my mind that I knew when I was younger I think his name's Gino. Gino Rea, R-E-A. He's like professional road racer now, but he was a super good schoolboy motocross rider.
Yeah.
And then I feel like the trajectory was always road because he was almost like just using the motor as like a training ground as when he was younger and stuff. But yeah, he was legit on a motocross bike.
Yeah.
And then seemingly from what I've seen online, he's still killing it on a super sport or whatever he's on.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah. So when did you first start riding?
So I was like probably 5 years old and my older brother had a little CRF 50 and I was just like begging my dad just to give me a go, like just give me a go. And then he said, when you're 6 you can ride it. So when I turned 6 I just started riding it and then I don't think I stopped riding bikes like since.
Right.
And then done the whole motocross thing, started club race on autos. When I started I used to be terrified of the starts.
Really?
Yeah, like, so I'd just let everyone go and then I'd go after because I was so scared of getting in like a pile up. And then, just ended up like getting into 65s and then going to nationals at 65s and then have just been in the nationals since then and done a few world champs races actually as well.
Oh, really?
And one EMX. I've done an EMX at Matterley Basin.
Okay.
Because that's like a bucket list one almost.
Yeah.
To tick off because that track's just insane.
Yeah, I bet.
So yeah,
That's
those
cool.
jumps are like, there's not jumps like them around.
No.
They're just floaty.
At what point do you feel like you're good in terms of like CC or bike? Like, because obviously on a 50 you're just sort of bumbling around, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then you get on a 65 is quite a big jump up, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like an actual motocross bike, but smaller.
Yeah, because like 65s, you've got clutch, you've got gears, whereas the auto is just twist and go.
Do you remember it all getting more difficult or learning more or feeling like you're actually good?
No, not really. My memory's pretty cooked, to be fair. I think I've had a few head hits or something. So, I actually don't remember much.
Really?
Yeah, like
it's just that's just your memory. It's just
That's all you hear.
I just get on a bike again, and I just like, oh, comes back to me. Yeah? I'm like, I can ride again. So, yeah, I don't really remember much from motocrossing.
Do you not?
Nah, like.
But you've had
from
a
being
lot
a
of
schoolboy,
success.
like you don't remember much of that, or
Nah, like if I try, obviously I remember some results. I remember where my first ever race win was on a 65.
yeah,
Like first ever, it was just a club race at a track called Roxton, but that's one that will never leave the memory because
No.
that was the first ever win.
yeah.
And like back then at clubs, they used to do a victory lap as well if you win.
Oh,
So you go do like a whole
mate.
extra, yeah, and you're just round, you just like think you're the boy waving to
Dude.
everyone, like yeah, I just won.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's a proper memory. That is. That's
Yeah.
cool. I don't have anything like that growing
No.
up. Do you?
No, definitely no
That's
wins.
mega.
Yeah, victory laps were like, you know, if you got to do a victory lap, you were the man. To do.
So was that at national level at that? At
Nah, that
point?
was just a club race.
Right,
That
okay.
was still just in club race, and it was just me and my dad. We were just doing our thing, literally just riding for fun, racing for fun. That was
Yeah.
before I started taking anything seriously.
Yeah.
So
Your brother ride as well, or did he
So-
peace out from motors?
my older brother, he's super smart, right? He's like, he went to Oxford University and done engineering. Like, he's super smart. Like, you got to think about me. I like, obviously, me being younger than him, he's gone through school. He's got like A stars in all his A levels and GCSEs, and I'm like, I dropped out a year before GCSEs and then went back, and then I was like, well, I got to at least get my GCSEs, and then
That's a victory lap, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You just did a victory
Exactly.
lap.
Yeah.
didn't bother doing any A levels. So like, my parents have gone from the smartest child ever to not so smart, I suppose.
Smart in different ways.
Well,
Yeah.
this is what I'm coming to.
Yeah.
Street smarts, not being mean to him, but he's clumsy.
Is it, yeah?
He's so clumsy. And I think with motocross, I remember you used to have like a Kawasaki 85, and the old Kawasaki's used to be terrible for like the power band.
Okay.
They used to be really either you're on or it's just bogging everywhere and it's off.
Yeah.
And like he couldn't get it on. Like I'd hop on. Like I'm not even tall enough to touch the floor,
Yeah.
but I'll get on it and I'll go quicker than him. But so he did ride a little bit,
Yeah.
but he wasn't like crazy for anything.
Okay.
He's got really into mountain biking
Has
pretty
he?
recently though, like
Right.
same time that I was getting into it, where
Okay.
he like helped me get into it really. But yeah, not so much into the motocross.
When did you get serious riding motocross?
When on the 65s on my later days, I signed for Team Green Kawasaki.
Yeah,
And
so
that
that's
was
like
like-
development, is it? Like they're like,
Yeah, it's just like that, like UK factory team, I suppose.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I looked trick. Like my dad actually sent me a photo from it not too long ago, from racing arena cross, which is on now. And like I was sponsored by like Monster and everything. I still have a BMX on my wall that I got given for being on that team.
no way.
Yeah, yeah. But I looked trick. I had all like the Monster logos.
So
and
that was
whatnot.
65's arena cross.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's still crazy that they do that.
Yeah, I
Kids
was about to
with
say.
Monster
Yeah.
logos on. It's
Yeah.
so crazy.
I
isn't it?
know.
Did you have a monster at that age?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, I was very strict. I wouldn't even drink a fizzy drink. I don't think.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was strict.
Were you?
Yeah, yeah.
In what way?
Like especially with like drinks, like I would not drink a fizzy drink.
Okay, which
Wow.
one was allowed and which one wasn't allowed?
What do you mean?
What drinks were allowed?
Well, like water and juice and Lucozade, but like
Okay,
not the fizzy
Lucozade, though.
Lucozade,
Okay,
just the Lucozade Sport.
All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
Like I wouldn't touch a fizzy.
It's outside of the rules.
Yeah, but like
Okay.
now I do love the fizzy Lucozade. I
Yeah,
won't
yeah,
lie.
yeah.
Like
And they were your own things that you set for yourself because you were like at that age. Do you remember knowing that this could be a thing further down the line?
yeah, I think so. 'cause
You were
it's
like, okay, this
you
there's
watch
like a career.
all the pros, and you're like, well, I just want to be one of them.
Yeah,
Why would I not just want to
Yeah.
race my bike for a living?
Yeah.
So
true.
yeah,
And at that point, what you're watching Supercross? You're watching.
probably me. So I've always been like, I've never really enjoyed watching live races that much.
Okay.
Like I know it's a good thing to watch and whatnot. I love watching the crash reels. Or it's like Supercross takeout reels.
No
I'm
way.
like, I love that. I
Really?
love
So
that
you're not like
so
a
much.
race fan at all? You're not like frothing for like Anaheim when it comes round this year? Anything
Nah,
like
not really.
You just want to see takeouts?
I'll just wait till the highlights come with all the takeouts and stuff,
cool.
and I'll be like, that's funny. But like, my dad used to be like, oh, come sit down, watch like MXGP, and I'm like, oh, it's just 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go like ride or do something else.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
You study it
that.
though, don't you?
Yeah.
I think of you as someone who, just through mountain biking and riding
Yeah.
with you, think about technique and think
Yeah.
about what you're doing.
Oh, 100%.
Was that the same in moto?
100%. But I wouldn't study like a whole race so much. I'd go find whoever's fastest, find a clip of them, slow it down, watch where their feet are, you know, see if you can see how much they're braking, what their arm position is, whatnot.
There's
Yeah.
great analysis now of particularly with Jet, I think.
Mm.
There's really cool analysis of like exactly what you said. Foot position through the whoops was super interesting.
Yeah.
And like how they fatigue later in the race and stuff like that. I love all that shit.
Yeah.
I could talk about that stuff even in mountain biking, like bike parts and stuff,
So-
less so, but I really love like technique. I think it's interesting.
What's cool about mountain bike over motocross with that? Motocross is more of this one technique works, this one that's right, most other stuff's wrong. Whereas I find with mountain bike, it really depends on your style a lot, but like so many different techniques work, which is really cool because you can look at like 5 different people all go through one section at the same time, like same speed, but all their techniques are different. And you're like, how is that even possible that you can be thousandths within each
Yeah.
other, but all doing something different?
Yeah.
Whereas motocross, it's much more like balls on the feet, attack position. Whereas like mountain biking, if you're tall, you might have like a slightly different technique, and then you got people who are smooth, who are aggressive. I think it's just more noticeable with mountain biking than motocross.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I guess you obviously, do you have like an aim? I know we're skipping ahead a bit here, but do you have like an aim when you see someone ride? Like, are there riders that you like the way they ride and you want to take something from?
For sure. I mean, like, everyone likes someone who just looks steezy and comfortable on a bike, right?
Yeah.
So I do like watching them guys a lot and just seeing like what they do. Like, I suppose like Jasper Penton, all those old Insta banging clips used to be insane. You just like watch what he does, and he's just so smooth. I think that's what really made his videos good, was just how smooth and effortless he made stuff look.
Yeah.
And then same thing with Loic. Watching him in person is like nuts, because you can hear when he brakes, and like you watch him come in and he's brake really hard and you're like, oh, he's cooking, but like he's braked so early, but then he just lets off, and like you're stood in the main part where everyone else is still braking, he's just like let off and he's gone past, and you're like, has he got a motor in that bike? Where's he just picked up all that speed from?
So you mean he's braking way earlier than everyone, but almost
Yeah.
setting up and then just woof, then he's
like,
gone.
he just lets off the brakes so early compared
Right.
to everyone else that he just carries so much speed. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
So with that information, do you then, as a rider, then try and put that into practice?
Yeah, so it's a really good thing in like winter. Loads of people do it. We'll just go practice their braking and like see how early you can brake almost, because the earlier you let off your brakes, the more speed you're going to carry. If you simplify it. So.
I love that. It's like instantly that's something that I try and brake as late as possible.
Yeah.
Everywhere, because I'm not really trying to go quick. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, so there's definitely a balance, and it depends what's after that section of track.
Yeah.
Because if it's like a really tight turn, you don't need to carry speed. Go for it, brake late, slam on, because you don't need to carry the speed anyway. Because it's like a speed limit around the next bit. But if it's like a fast open section, you want to be carrying as much speed as possible you need to get off those brakes as early as possible.
I tell you what, I love this stuff. I love this chat. When we go for rides, we always end up getting stuck on it. I absolutely love it for some reason.
Yeah.
It's sort of, it sort of proves you do actually love biking, eh? If you can get that much
out of a straight and a corner, and you
Mate,
can really
anything.
dissect it all.
Anything.
It's kinda
And so
cool.
many riders that I sort of admire the way they ride, I like it as well. Just pick up on tiny little things and you'll just be like, oh, you notice as well.
Yeah.
Or I can't put them into practice like probably you can, but I can definitely notice things. And yeah, I think that's rad.
Yeah.
Right, so can we go back to Team Green now?
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the one in it though. When you're a kid, like you want to be on Team Green. That's the one you want to be on.
Yeah,
Like you said,
yeah.
it's development. It's like access to bikes and support and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm a lot older than you, but that was my goal when I was a young kid. I
Was
just
it?
want to be on Team Green. Yeah, because
Yeah.
all the cool kids were on it, man. Tommy Searle, all those kids that came through like Team Green. So yeah, how long were you on Team Green for?
I don't think I was on it. I'm trying to remember now. I obviously remember the 65s. I was
Yeah.
probably on it for a couple years or so. And then I think I might have been on it for 1 year on small wheel 85 as well.
Okay.
And then after that, I went on like a bit of a smaller Kawasaki team with someone called Mark Woodage.
Okay.
He actually does tuning for like MotoGP or Moto3 teams or something.
Right.
So he always like tuned my engines. I've never gone crazy with engine tuning actually like a lot of people. I always just preferred a smoother engine, and Mark was really good for that. Like he knew exactly what I wanted.
Cool.
So he actually supported me for ages, and I was on that for a while.
Like, obviously, Moto's known for being really expensive.
Yeah.
So did it start helping out a little bit, like when you got on a team and then you start getting maybe a bike? I don't know if they're free or cheap or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, do you notice that stuff start helping, especially with the family? I don't know. Like,
I think even like sponsorship in motocross
yeah.
was so poor when I was doing it. Like there was no way you're getting a free bike.
Okay.
You'd be paying for bikes still.
Yeah.
But obviously everything helps. It all adds up. I wouldn't know as much because my dad would have been paying. I was very lucky that he would have been paying for everything back then.
Yeah.
So, but I know in motocross, like the amount of money that people have that do motocross is ridiculous.
It's not so.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And I think to sustain it is like the thing, isn't it? If you want to keep going through those ranks, an 85, let's say you're a quick 85 rider, you're probably going to need 3 bikes a year.
Yeah.
Minimum, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then it jumps up to 125, then they go up in price, and it's like, then you get a 250F, etc. So, yeah. What was that like coming through the ranks? Did you even notice that happening? Like, I feel like you've got supportive parents, it sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're pretty good.
My dad's been so supportive.
Yeah.
Like he's always funded everything. We've always done well. I think 125s again, we was just with Mark, we was just having fun at club races and stuff, and then was racing nationals at the same time. And then that's when I got picked up by Judd KTM, which is like a factory backed KTM team. So that's like factory KTM. And that like was like a switch almost. Because like it was just me and my dad who was going around. I was doing well. Like I was getting like on the podium now and then, 5th and whatnot.
At what?
Like nationals,
Okay.
British Youth Nationals.
Yeah.
Which is then why I got picked up by Judd, which had a lot better support, probably the best support that I had. And then as soon as I got on that, it was like a switch. It was like since you're on a team, you're like way more serious about it, sort of thing.
Okay.
And it just clicked to me, and then I was like, I just didn't lose after that.
Really?
Yeah, it was like insane. And I don't know if that's support from the team or if it's just the whole mental side of you're in like the biggest pit there, you're factory KTM, you know, you've got all this support, you're expected to win almost. And it's like, that just makes you believe that you can win, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So
You start taking training a bit more serious as well, or?
I've always taken that
Have you?
as serious as you can get. Like, same even now. When I go, I don't want to sound like cocky or anything, but if I go to a World Cup and people start saying they get tired and stuff, I always think to myself, like, there's no way anyone here trains harder than me because of how many hours I put in. Like, I don't know what anyone else does. I'll be real, I have no clue. But me, myself, I'm like, it's not possible to put more hours in than I put in. So I'm like, it's actually not possible.
You're
that someone
leaving
trains
nothing,
harder.
like...
Exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Exactly.
It's quite a nice mental edge, I think. I think that's like
Yeah.
quite a nice thing to just have ticked off.
Yeah.
Not even to really, you don't really have to think much about it. It's like you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Speaking about not thinking of things, let's go to an ad break and it'll be an AG one.
Davey, I've got a question for you, dude.
Please.
I've broken my hand, I've broken my arm. I don't want to make this about me, but I do want to be back on my bike as soon as possible.
Okay. So what's the question?
You got any tips?
I've
I
got
want
a
to be
few.
back amongst it, dude.
Yeah, okay. I got a couple of tips for you. Now,
Please.
obviously, you want to be giving your body the ultimate opportunity
Okay.
to heal.
Okay, how would you do that, though?
Okay, you want to be putting good stuff into it. Okay, what you eat
Okay.
is what you are.
Yeah.
That's what they say, innit? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
they do say that, yeah.
Okay,
I
so
have
you
heard
want to
that
put in
before.
optimal nutrition. Okay, thank you
Okay.
for teaser there.
Yeah.
Optimal nutrition, whole food source ingredients, vitamins, minerals.
This all sounds like it makes sense.
Hey man, we have an opportunity right here with the little green tub.
What?
Okay.
You said all those different things.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like what is it, like pills, capsules, loads of like things that you mix together, and it sounds like quite a long job in the morning. I don't know if I'm up for that.
Some people do it like that, and those some people live in the dark ages, babe. But we don't do it like that.
Right.
We do it with AG1, a simple whole food sourced scoop of goodness. Okay, you get it. You put your little scoop in the little green tub.
That's what that green tub is.
That's what that green tub is.
That's a Bluetooth speaker.
No, it's not actually. No, better than Bluetooth.
No way.
Way better than Bluetooth. Yeah. So you basically, man, it's simple. All you have to do is have a scoop in the morning. Best taken on an empty stomach. All right.
You just scoop it straight into your mouth.
Well, you can scoop it straight into your mouth if you want to do it like that. If you want to raw dog it, or you can just put it into some water. Okay, swirl it around.
Right, that makes more sense now. Yeah, okay.
I've been known to do it like that a few times though.
Just dry.
Scoop and then flush it
take
straight
a deep
down.
breath.
Yeah, and just don't breathe out. But mate, it's super easy. I love it. It's part of my daily routine now, right? And it has been for ages. And I don't think I'd be the same person without it. Well, I literally wouldn't. I'd be a different person. I wouldn't be as optimal.
Dude, believe it or not.
The ads would be boring.
Believe it or not. I was joking earlier when I said I thought that was a Bluetooth speaker. I knew exactly what it was because I also take it twice a day, every day. Yeah. Twice at the minute because I just think, why not? Because I've got broken bones and I feel.
So we're both double dabbing at the moment.
We're double dabbing, yeah.
I've been double dabbing for a minute with all of the sickness and stuff going around, viruses. A lot of people are ill at the moment. I've been doing morning and evening AG1 hits.
There you go.
And I seem to be avoiding everything. So, and you seem to be healing up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not looking great at the minute, but fingers crossed we're going to sort of move on quickly.
So if you want to be as optimal as me and you, all you have to do is go to drinkag1.com/the ride companion.
That's drinkag1.com/the ride companion.
Of course, there's going to be a little deal for you there, okay? They're going to throw in 5 free travel packs.
They can't.
They can. And they're going to give you a bottle of vitamin D3.
They cannot do that as well.
They can do that as well. We will do that as well because that's the sort of people that we are.
Wow. What is there, a code?
Yeah, the code is the ride companion. Well, there's not. There's not a code. There isn't a code. You just go to the URL, drinkag1.com, the ride companion. It's right here on screen. No code necessary.
So that's what it is.
They just do it all for you.
So
optimal nutrition.
The ride companion.
Yeah, optimal nutrition. Optimal ways of getting the deal. You don't have to go around. You don't have to put codes in. You don't have to mess around. It's just right there. Delivered, and they deliver it to your door. You don't have to walk to somewhere and get it.
Can I just clip on optimal for the finish of this ad?
Yeah, please. You wrap this thing up for us.
Optimal. Thanks, AG1.
Thanks, AG1.
Right, we're back. That was a good ad break. I enjoyed it.
Best.
I want to ask you, because I've noticed you're quite the puzzler on your mountain bike. Back when you're on a factory KTM team, what level of puzzling would go on? What were you aware of? Because it is interesting, like engine, suspension.
Yeah.
Like how much do you affect?
I can tell when something's not running right. Like I can tell if the suspension needs to be changed a bit, or if you need to change the jetting because it's not quite revving right. It's not as crisp as it should be. But like I wouldn't actually know how it needs to be changed. I just know that it needs to be changed. And luckily my dad was just like clued in on that stuff, obviously being around it for so long. I just go, this isn't right. They'll go, try that. Like, sweet, perfect. So I didn't have to actually have like any mechanical knowledge. I was just like, this doesn't work.
I mean, that's the dream scenario, right? That's like what a team would want as well.
Because I don't like Daniel
think
Ricciardo,
about it. He don't know how a car works. He don't have a clue, but he can tell you it's wrong.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that. I love the thought of just being like, the like front left's going. Can we do something? You know what I mean? Or just anything.
Yeah. But also being able to feel it's like so important.
Yeah.
Like being able to know, because a lot of people probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've personally always really guilty of that. Like on a mountain bike, anything I don't really know what's going on.
Right.
I'm always very impressed by people who can be like, the suspension is off, the front is off, whatever. I always find that really impressive.
I never used to be able to.
Really?
When I was a kid, I'd like
just ride whatever.
You could give me a bike and like the bars could be on backwards or something, and I'd just be like, oh, it's so good. Like, I just rag it. To be fair, I can still do that now, but I can actually feel, I can feel every little
what's
thing
going
now.
on a little bit.
I was impressed hearing you talk about suspension setup when we're in Germany, and you're like, like I've never been able to do that.
Yeah.
I've never been able to be like, oh, my front keeps pushing, or like I can't. I can imagine that's like probably helped a lot coming from moto.
Yeah. So the main like thing is I had to teach myself, like obviously not being on a team on a mountain bike, I don't have someone to like just make the changes for me. I kind of need to know myself what I need to change. And like the way I done that was just kept going out and changing stuff even if it wasn't good, just so I know what it feels like. So now I just know what like every single thing feels like. It's just ingrained in there. Okay. So now if I feel something's off, I'm like, oh yeah, that was that, so I just need to change this. Like I already know because I've already done it.
It's a good way of doing it, actually.
It is, isn't it? Can we do an example? This is probably annoying to you, but I find it really interesting. So you were having trouble at the IXS. You were saying like, oh, I keep losing my front. So what was your? Because I know you're like quite like, you have it lined up how you like troubleshoot.
Yeah.
What were your steps that you took? For instance, with the front pushing.
Yeah.
In turns when you're pushing hard.
So that track at the IXS, it wasn't very steep, was it? It was quite flat. And so I've played with how far I've dropped my forks through the crown. I've probably played with like 10 mil and I've done every single mil. Because depending how steep it is, you want to raise or lower that. And it was the same with motocross actually. In sand, you'd drop the forks right through so you kind of know, I like the front's pushing like it's a bit far away from me. I'll just bring the forks up. Okay,
so you're trying to get a bit more weight on the front, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then so you can kind of push in a bit harder.
And then with that, if you add more weight, then you have to adjust accordingly. Mm-hmm. What are you adjusting?
So it depends how much you do it all by. It could literally just be a click of compression.
I appreciate these are annoying questions, but I quite like that. I quite like your like no nonsense approach. Like when you talk about it, it's quite like it's actually scientific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you've thought about it, and it's not. There's no bullshit really. You are actually saying what you've felt, and I just find it interesting.
It's literally just putting like all of my past experience, no matter what sport, together, just memorizing how every single thing feels on the bike, and then it just speeds up the process basically. Because you could, have a problem, and there could be like 5 different ways that you could fix it. But if you know what works for you already because you've tried it, instead of having to go do 5 different runs and being like, oh yeah, that's finally good, you can pretty much get it done in one run.
Yeah.
And it just saves you so much time, and you can start focusing where you can focus on other stuff.
Yeah.
A bit more.
So then you have your bike just at its base setting, and you can adjust it per track based on your memory of the things that you've...
And like, you don't really get like one base setting though. Like throughout the year, I think a lot of people have this. Your bike actually ends up getting stiffer throughout the year because you're getting faster throughout the year, which is pretty nuts. And you don't really, cool, isn't it? You don't really go back unless the track conditions change. Like it could be slippery or something. You'll soften it back up.
I'd be interested to hear what a fast bike feels like for you when you know your bike's dialed.
Yeah.
What does it feel like? Does it?
It just gives you confidence. It's like the confidence that you can go into this turn without braking and just push, and it's just going to grip. And then that's the main thing. I've always said this actually because you obviously can like use technology to set your bike up and stuff, but in my opinion, it's good. It's very, very good to get you progress fast, but it's definitely not always right in my opinion. It's more rider feel, because I think you'll get more out of a bike that's more out of a bike that feels correct to you and gives you more confidence than more out of a bike that's like statistically correct. So
that's interesting. How long would it usually take you to get it? Let's say you go to a World Cup.
Yeah.
How many runs are you talking to get a bike like dialed so it feels like that? And do you sometimes miss at some weekends? And because obviously you hear people say that, like, I just didn't have the bike dialed in. Has there been times where you just miss it? You just can't find a setup?
100%. To be fair, my bike's we've got such a good base setting that I never really have to change too much.
Yeah.
It's always really minor stuff here and there. We did have one when the track was super quick. I put new tunes in my shock and forks, which is quite a big change.
Yeah.
And it's a lot to get done in a weekend.
Yeah.
So it actually depends quite a lot on the track, I'd say.
Okay.
Because some tracks I could turn off, my bike would be sweet. Other tracks I could be like, right, like I'm blowing out, let me try a few different things, and I'm still just blowing through it. Right, new tune. We got to go stiffer on the tune.
So when you're saying new tune, are you trying to make things just harder or ramp up more or both?
So I'm running the Öhlins on my downhill bike. So with the ramp, you've got a top air chamber and a bottom air chamber, so you can adjust it pretty well with that. But you put more air in the bottom chamber, it's going to ramp up a bit quicker. What these tunes do, it's like a compression tune. So if you're sat at the top of the compression and like you can't make it any stiffer on that, then you put a bigger tune in, and then the middle of those clicks will be like the top of the tune before. So it just gives you more adjustment, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that sort of thing.
You've learnt all this yourself?
Yeah, so me and my brother kind of just spent like...
Oh, the smart one.
Yeah.
All right, he comes in handy when you start racing World Cups.
He's my World Cup mechanic, or he was.
No way.
So, like last winter, we just kept driving places, and I was like, right, I'm just going to change something every lap. We'd change loads of stuff, and then we'd just talk about it. We kind of discuss each other's ideas, and then just try it and see how it goes, sort of thing. That's so it's literally all just trial and error.
Yeah.
Hours and hours of trial and error.
We hop forward quite quickly to racing World Cups. What was the point where you decided to stop the moto side, racing dirt bikes?
So I just started mountain biking for fun.
Yeah.
And I decided I'd go do so this was when I was racing, I think it was my first season on Judd KTM.
2018, what were we thinking?
I think it might have been 2019.
Okay.
2018. No, it might have been 2018 actually.
Yeah.
So I just decided I started mountain biking, and then I was like, done a little Tidworth race, and I got third. I was like, it's all right. I'll go try a national. Went to I hadn't been riding very long. Went to Riola was where it was at.
What bike are you on at this point?
So I had a Specialized. I've always had a Specialized,
right?
Which is kind of cool actually. I quite like that. It was a Specialized Demo 8, and I didn't know anything about mountain biking at this point. Like I didn't know you could even cut the bars down. So I was just running like 800mm bars. Like I had motocross kit on.
Yeah.
So I had a big motocross helmet that you couldn't really breathe through. I only brought one set of motocross kit with me, and I crashed in practice, and it ripped like all the bum of it apart.
Okay.
So I was just riding all weekend with like my boxes hanging out basically. I actually put a lot of pressure on myself for this one. I think I wanted to do really well.
Why?
I don't know.
Was there a glimpse of like this could be a thing for the future at that point?
Nah,
I could actually do this.
I think it was cool that like no one knew who I was.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just really wanted to like make a statement, I reckon.
Yeah.
By the time you'd got to that age in moto, it's like the same people, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
It's like you know everyone.
Yeah,
everyone
like,
knows you.
You turn up at a race, people be like, "Oh, he's turned up," sort of thing. It was like no one knew who I was here. So went in for my race run, and I think I ended up winning by 4 seconds or something, and I almost couldn't turn up to the podium because where I'd put like so much pressure on myself. My like stomach had gone really, really sore, and I couldn't move. And I think it was like because I was like tensed up all day, and I was like to my dad, I was like laying down in the van, and I was like, I can't go up, I can't move.
What the hell?
And I was in the whole drive home after. I was in agony.
Really?
Just pure pain. Like literally got the podium down and got out there, and I was like, we need to go. I'm hurting.
Dude.
But,
what were you thinking?
You really wanted to win that race?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, exactly.
Where does that come from then?
Yeah, it's true. Good point. Where does it come from? Where's that drive from?
Yeah, you know, like you just pick this thing up and
That's
you're
not
just trying
normal.
it out.
You know it's not normal, right? To be like that het up to win something.
I don't know. Like, why would you not want to win though?
That's fair.
Like,
I don't know. I don't think I've ever wanted to win something so bad I've given myself
the
angina attack.
Yeah, like the pressure wouldn't be there. Like I think the fact that it's like your second race, I would never put pressure on myself. And my second race, I was like, lucky if I made the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Top 100. I was like,
I think I just didn't want to lose.
yeah, it's pretty cool that.
Because that is like, whilst I was racing British, and I'm winning every single race motocrossing. So I suppose I'm just used to it. That season, actually, I almost won both championships.
Really?
Motocross
That's
and
cool.
mountain biking. But I had to skip the last 2 mountain bike ones because I had to go to the motocross ones.
Right.
So I still ended up like 4th in the championship or something. But
So what did they feel like, both of them? What was like a moto weekend? What did it mean to you? Were you hyped for the race? Mountain bike weekend, were you hyped for the race? What was like the difference?
so moto was like serious. It's like, right, we're here to win, just business. Like race, back, like just tight schedule. No hanging out with anyone. I'm straight back to like where I'm staying after. Whereas mountain biking, I was just there to have fun.
You know, when you're like growing up and you see all that stuff, like you say, you're at the race, it's all business. You kind of like aspire for that because you're like, that looks so cool. Like I want to be whoever. I want to be Barsha. I want to come off the track, go straight in the truck, talk to my team.
Yeah.
You kind of like desire that.
100%.
But when you're actually living it, what's it like? Did it suck the fun out of it a little bit?
No, I think I was loving it.
You enjoyed it?
I think it's because I was winning everything.
Yeah.
I imagine if you're struggling and you're
Yeah.
not winning, it probably sucks a bit. But if you're winning everything, it feels pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I think since I was doing well, I was feeling good.
Okay.
Good about it.
Yeah.
And that's how motocross has always been for me, really. Anyway, like
So you've not like
I've never really
left it on a downer.
Nah.
Okay.
Like I've never really motocross isn't the same as mountain biking, is where everyone's friendly. I think you get a bit close on track and whatnot. So I never really had too many friends at motocross anyway. Just because I never went out and spoke to people really.
Yeah.
Just because I just keep to myself and then I'm there to race sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
I'm interested to think though, like towards the end of the motocross career, was there like a path for you maybe to race like British champs? Do you know what I mean? Or like, did you set your sights even higher than that? Were you thinking, like, okay, I get MXGP if I keep going?
For sure, MXGP was always the goal. But the issue with motocross was it gets like more and more expensive every year and the sponsorship gets worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like I won those 2 British championships back to back and then there was like nothing for me still after that.
Yeah.
And I was getting better offers at mountain biking.
Really? Yeah.
I feel like that, you know, the motocross industry as a whole, it's probably changed since I've like been more involved in it, but a lot of young people come through and they're super talented.
Yeah.
But what happens is they just run out of money. Like you just can't go any further because there's this wall of having to buy onto a team, which could be 100 grand plus. I don't know. And it is an expensive hobby, job, however you want to look at it. And I don't know, like, are the top British guys making good money now? Do you know? Like,
I think you can get the odd one like Conrad or Tommy style.
Yeah.
But they've obviously raced EMX.
Tommy's
GPs,
been around for a long time too. Like,
but like, you'll get a few that are doing okay, but I don't think probably struggling still. Most people, I imagine.
Yeah.
What was the next team that would have been like, you know, what would you have been looking at that point? You've got 2 titles. Why is there not the next team?
I think most teams do quite like taking on people that buy their way on in motocross.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Well, it means that there's not as much space in the team for talent. I've seen so many people who like I grew up racing against, some really, really talented people who could like set the world on fire, just have to give up because there's no spots on the teams. And they're like, well, we can't afford it, so
yeah,
I just have to quit.
Yeah, mate, it's the harsh reality of it. I think it genuinely is. There's going to be people on teams that have just got the money to be there, which is gnarly. I think it's the same in every sport, though.
Yeah, probably. It's probably really bad in. I would have no clue.
Yeah,
but I imagine it's really bad in F1.
Yeah,
I feel like people must.
It's got to be the worst,
really,
doesn't it?
Really buy their ways onto teams and that.
Yeah. I don't know. There's been. I mean, I'm not a huge F1 fan, but I know there's been a few where it's, you know, the son is the heir of a massive fortune, and it's like.
Do you know it must suck so much though, because like, I think it's Lance Stroll's like the one that comes to mind.
Yeah,
but he's obviously very talented.
Yeah,
and it's like your talent can never stand on its own. Then you're always just. I don't know. I'm not F1 expert, but I would imagine you'd always feel like a bit like the prince, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, even when you pull out a result, no one's giving it to you. Everyone's like, yeah, but he's rich.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately,
It's tough, isn't it?
It's tough. It is tough. It is really tough.
How much how much are we talking for like that next, like a GP spot? Did you hear stories? You must have heard things around the pit about what people bought to teams.
Yeah, I think a GP spot for like just 125. So this is just EMX 125, not even like the two big ones. I think you'd probably be talking around the 150,000 range for sure.
Yeah.
Which is not money
lot
that we
of-
have.
no.
So
Yeah.
So much money. Karen's got to hustle on LinkedIn to get the 150k
Yeah.
in Angie.
yeah, that's such a ridiculous amount of money.
So was there a point when you just went, right, we might as well not carry on with this, and there's an opportunity with mountain biking? Did that happen?
So,
or like,
well, it's like we basically got forced out really, because it was like, well, where do we go now? I've won 2 British Championships, but I can't do anything else because there's no other spots.
yeah,
But like when I won those 2 British Championships, like we were still paying for stuff. But like I was getting a better deal than I was getting on motocross at mountain biking already, and I was literally all I was doing was just riding for fun.
really?
So I was like, well, I might as well just keep riding for fun than like not ride at all. So
Yeah. I don't want to throw you under the bus here, but if you had to choose now,
yeah,
this is a pivotal point in your career at this moment. You can be a professional motocross rider,
yeah.
or you can be a professional downhill rider. Where do you go?
Right. So I've thought about this a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I would go mountain biking mainly because of the community.
So
Like motocross, I think is such a sick sport, but like the community does kind of suck. So I do like mountain bike how like even all the top dogs, they're literally just having fun with their mates at the end of the day. Like you see them, they're all having a laugh. Like, and it's, I don't know, it's just cool.
yeah,
Same thing with if you go to national motocross race, like the cheapest motorhome there you'll see is like 300 grand. You go to a national mountain bike race, everyone's in tents.
yeah.
It's like so much more down to earth, which I really liked. So
That's a good answer. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's mad to think that it's that much money to get on a team as
Yeah.
well. Like, oh man, it's so shit really that there's so much lost talent in that sport.
100%.
But-
I know so many people just like who I was racing against, so I can't imagine
Yeah.
how many people are missing out.
Yeah. Shame, man.
And there's like it's quite a lot of hours on a bike to get to a point where you're that good on a moto, eh?
Yeah, so I was always one of the people that would ride a lot less, but I'd get a lot more like value out of my rides. I wouldn't just ride aimlessly. I'd have intentions with every ride, but I'd only be able to ride like, I'd only be able to ride like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone else is riding like 5, 6. You're like, you can't.
Yeah. Back when I was doing it and I was not like British or anything, but there was kids that were like homeschooled and
Yeah.
it was like, they're really throwing everything at this, you know, and you can't keep up with it if you can't afford to do that. It is kind of a shame.
Tell you what, piston and rings fucking finished my motocross career.
Just one mob.
Honestly, that seemed like a mountain I was not willing to climb. Did one, never again.
Never again.
No, I've
Too
been lucky with
expensive.
that. I've been lucky. My dad's just been all over that. So otherwise, I think it would have been a struggle for me.
Yeah, true. Hey, I'm interested in in mountain biking. It's like being able to ride moto is like the cool thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you can tell it's like people get to their off seasons, they can't wait to put on their moto gear and
Yeah.
just sort of like emulate their superheroes. What's that like for you to see, knowing, because you don't really like put a lot out with you riding a motocross bike?
Yeah, that's mainly because I don't get to ride one that much.
Yeah.
I wish I could ride one more, but no, I think it's quite funny actually.
Yeah,
I think it's quite funny.
For what reason?
I don't know. They just all like. I don't even know how to explain it. I just find it funny.
Is it
I would-
because you've got quite like a like your approach to moto is quite about going as fast as you can
Yeah.
around the track, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's how their approach is in downhill, but now
Yeah.
they're going on a motor and they're trying to do like scrubs, I guess. And like, is that what it is? Is it like
Yeah, I just think it's like watching a lot of like of the fastest guys in the world just look like average on a motorbike. I think it's just kind of funny. But no, I would love to actually do like just a World Cup riders like moto race. I think that'd
be fun.
I'd love to do that.
Did they
so
used
much.
to do like a Dorno meet?
Oh, really?
I swear there was like in between spots there used to be like one round and another round, and like Dorno is sort of in between.
Oh, if so, I have no clue. But that sounds good. Let's do it.
Rental bike as well. So
Oh,
it's your favourite.
dream.
right.
You
He goes like
neck
stink
off it.
on a rental. He goes
For
like
some
stink.
reason, those rental bikes are just quicker, aren't they? I don't know. I don't know what it is about them.
Hey, what are you looking at there?
Mate, I
It
just
looks.
browsing. You know, if people are probably listening to this episode, I mean, I was sat in the episode and it left me with some questions about nutrition.
Yeah.
And wanting to make sure that if you're going to be doing maybe some of these exercises Johnny's been talking about, that you're recovering properly
Yeah.
and that you're supplementing efficiently, but also getting a bit of a bargain.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing, mate. I was just looking at our sponsor, Peak SUPPS, and they've got this deal, right? It's called the Ride Companion Bundle. You can go on there, right? And it's going to give you everything you need to improve riding, recovery, and make sure that you're making the most out of all your workouts.
Wow,
okay?
amazing.
So I'll tell you what's in it.
Oh, I'd love to know what's in it. Yeah.
So you head over, right? First of all, go on to peaksups.co.uk. What was it?
Is it peaksups.co.uk?
Yeah, you go there. And then you go on the bundles, and then you can find the Ride Companion Bundle.
Hey, I can see the sticker sheet from here, dude. Look at that thing.
Free sticker sheet in there.
Yeah.
So then you're going to choose a pre-ride drink.
Okay, so this is a pre-ride. This is what you take before you go out. It's hyping the game up.
It's hyping the game up. Yeah,
okay.
it's going to make sort of like soundtracks play in your head.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's going to give you those pre-ride vibes. Then you've got your intra drink. Okay, so this is one that you put in your water bottle, you take it out with you, and then you're just going to keep sipping on this. It's like electrolytes, vitamins, all that sort of stuff.
Is there a tricarb one in there?
Mate, there is a tricarb.
Because you've been talking about the tricarb one.
Yeah,
in there,
the tricarb is so good. So
Keeps
you
you
get
going.
a tricarb, you get 20 servings. They only do it in a fruit punch flavour.
Hey, that's the flavour I wanted.
The best flavour.
Yeah.
So that's why. So you get your fruit punch, tricarb, and you get some electrolytes in there as well, which is a tube of 20.
Nice.
And then you got your post-ride drink. Okay, this is where your gains come in. All right?
Ah, that's what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah, man.
So what do you take post-ride then?
So you get yourself a whey protein and you can choose your flavour. There's tons of different flavours on there. Personally, chocolate or butterscotch. That's my deal.
Right. What
Okay.
other flavours are there?
It's a great question, dude.
Actually,
and
yeah, I think butterscotch is the one that I go for.
let's go with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah,
for now.
Butterscotch,
Because
yeah.
then we'd have to mess
Yeah,
around.
absolutely, yeah.
And then we're going to throw in a few freebies if you get the bundle. So you
get... Hold on. You get more?
Yeah, you get more. It's nuts, dude. More. But we worked out an amazing deal with these guys. So you're going to get a protein shaker. It's BPA free.
Oh, nice.
So that's
It's
good.
free. That is really good.
And that's the shaker to mix all your drinks. And then you're also going to get the exclusive Ride Companion sticker sheet designed by...
Yeah, that's right.
You did it.
Dude, so that all of this must come on like a lorry or something. Like, this is a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you'd think so.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't come in a lorry. It's going to
No.
get delivered to your house.
Okay, so how much is it? Like, would you say...
There's a deal on at the moment.
3,000?
No, it's close.
Okay,
Bit less.
Can I keep guessing? 1,000. That would be
Close,
insane.
but I mean,
It's
that's
less
what
again.
it should be, but we're going to go even less than that.
What are we talking?
We're talking £59.98p.
You-
Plus
you-
an extra bit of discount if you use the Ride Companion code, which is the Ride Companion.
The Ride Companion.
Yeah, that's going to knock you an extra 10% off.
So that's the Ride Companion for 10% off.
Yeah.
An already crazy deal.
Already crazy deal, but obviously not just that. Peak SUPPS have got loads of different stuff on here. Look, dude, I was just looking before. These are the top products at the moment, something that I'm loving. Vitamin C powder.
Yeah.
Big deal. Love that stuff. You can get yourself all sorts of stuff, dude. They got, what else they got? Bone, muscle and recovery stuff, sleep complexes, nootropics. The list is endless.
I tell you what, we're fast approaching Christmas. If you don't know what to get your partner and they ride, this is a solid Christmas present, isn't it?
Yeah, really solid. Yeah, I'd be stoked with this.
Yeah. I might get you one.
Yeah, do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
you should. All right, so yeah, peaksups.co.uk. Enter the promo code The Ride Companion. That's going to knock you 10% off anything and everything on site. And that's it, and that's that. Thank you, Peak SUPPS, for helping the boys out and looking after the companionship.
Thanks, Peak SUPPS.
You. So when did the downhill side start getting more serious for you? Like, when did you start leaning more into it?
Probably, so that like first national series I'd done where I just like won loads of stuff, and I was like, well, I might as well just go to the next level then, so I might as well go race worlds. And then ever since then it's been serious, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you start putting a package together to actually make it to a world? You self-fund?
Yeah, so it did start off because obviously my dad wasn't having to fund motocross anymore. So it started off with a lot of support from him.
Yep.
And Specialized pretty much
You'd be like,
supported
Dad,
me.
this is so cheap. Guys, have a look at it.
Well, to be fair, compared to motocross, it was a lot cheaper.
Yeah. Like,
So-
Dad, they're going to save you a fortune
Yeah.
every year. The motorhome can go back. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's mint. We just need a tent. We
One
fit
chain,
right in.
one chain. It will do the whole season. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. No, there's no air filter. You can literally can't put anywhere.
It's like bags of how much?
Yeah. It's
Bring
like
it on.
engine rebuilds, none of that.
Yeah.
None of that over here. But yeah, them and then Specialized have literally always supported me. They've
Yeah.
always given me like good products. So I've actually, if I get stuck at a race, I've always had like their parts that I've had everything.
Yeah.
So I've not had to worry about, I haven't got like, this is broke, I haven't got anything. So
What was that first? What was that first World Cup like, dude? So, because this trajectory to get to a World Cup is fast.
yeah.
It's like what, a season of nationals, and then you're at a World Cup.
Yeah.
Can I talk about what the trajectory starts?
Yeah.
Is Swinley Forest.
Yeah.
It's quite a big jump.
It is quite a big jump.
Like we're not mentioning the jump.
Yeah.
Like Swinley's like it's one of the smaller Surrey hills,
Yeah.
Is it
I
from
don't,
Surrey? I don't even know.
I don't think it really counts as a Surrey Hills. It's got like a, it's got a water treatment thing that's
Water
Surrey
treatment,
Hills.
That's nice, yeah.
Surrey Hills water reservoir thing.
Like, what did it look like? If you're trying to take downhill serious, where are you taking a downhill bike in Swinley?
Yeah, everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Literally red trails, blue trails, downhill bike. I was on them.
Really?
That's really it. Yeah.
Yeah, literally fire roads. I'd pedal on my downhill bike all the way there, all the way along fire roads.
Does that seem mad to you now that you got so quick from Swinley Forest?
Well, I think what seems mad to me is how far I'd pedal on a downhill bike. Like after getting a trail bike, I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know mountain bikes pedaled this easy. So, because I would literally pedal like 5 miles to Swinley and then like a few miles into Swinley to like all the better stuff.
on a downhill bike.
On a downhill bike, and I was like, this is easy. This is so easy. And like now I have a trail bike. I'm like, how did you ever even do that? So
It's so interesting. So you're already super fit from moto.
yeah,
You're already good on a bike and good at high speeds.
yeah,
A little sprinkle a little bit of Swinley in there, and then you're off to the races. You're off to the World Cups.
yeah. Well, if anyone's that like feels like they're missing something, it's probably Swinley. Like if you're ever if you need to find some little bits, Swinley's where you find them. So,
Clearly, dude,
Yeah.
you can tell them.
At least we work it out.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a favourite place for sure.
First World Cup, straight out of Swinley. First World Cup. What we talking? Where was it? What was it like? Was it
So-
an eye opener?
Just before, like this season, I think it was a COVID season maybe.
Yeah,
So-
like in 2020.
Yeah, so it was only like world champs in Portugal or something. I think
Mhm.
world champs at Leo Gang and Portugal. I was actually in Morzine not too long before world champs, and I was riding with John O'Jones and Chubby Hammond. Which
that's
is-
a good crew. That's a good crew.
It is an amazing crew, but it's a recipe for disaster at the same time. I think I had... So I was obviously still young. Everyone was still my idols. So to be riding with John, it was cool in its own. Then we hooked up with Danny Hart on Plenty Black. And
now we're talking.
yeah,
This is it now, eh?
yeah, this is pretty much as stupid as you can go. So we're dropping into Plenty Black main line. So I've decided to go at the front,
Straight out of Swinley.
and there's quite a big like gap. It was like, I think it was one that Bernie done, from like a fire road bit down onto this tiny set of routes. I just cased that and like mashed my wrist up. Never even done it before. I was on a World Cup winning run, I think, at the time. And like, yeah, I did end up breaking my wrist, but I only thought it was a sprain. So I just rode down and then just spent a week in Morzine with a very swollen wrist, and then got home and was like, I should probably go to the hospital. And it turns out it was completely snapped in half and twisted round. So I actually was just coming back from an injury at my first World Cup. So it was like no pressure and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I barely
To
even
go
been
do
riding.
the first one, you just recovering from the wrist injury.
Exactly.
Ah, okay.
So it actually almost made it a bit
No
easier
cramps.
for me. Well, I did get a bit sore.
I mean
to
the
be fair.
stomach.
Oh, no. Not the stomach, no. Like I said, no pressure
No.
because I literally had only just started riding like a few weeks
Yeah.
before, I think,
Mm.
again. So I was like, I wasn't even sure if I was going to go out and do it. But I was like, I might as well.
Booked.
Yeah. And I think I ended up getting like a 7th and a 9th maybe, I think, in juniors.
Okay.
Which wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Get top 10, first World Cup.
Okay.
And then I was like, right, that's from an injury. Let's see what we can do next year then when we're fully fit.
Right.
So
have you done 2 years in junior?
yeah. So well, if you count that as a year, it was like one race.
Yeah. So 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
That's your full first season.
That's like my first proper go at World Cups.
Okay.
So
How did that go?
it went pretty good actually. I think my best result was a 5th. But I had some really, really good splits. I just was a bit aggressive on the bike, like being young. So I was, causing a lot of mechanicals and whatnot. But I had like places at like World Champs was Val de Sol that year. And on my World Champs race run, I got red flagged. So I had to go back up for a rerun, which at Val de Sol, you never want to do a rerun. That's one track that you don't want to do a rerun at. So everyone had already finished. I think Jackson had won.
Okay.
And like got to the 3rd split and I was actually up. I was in the green. And then I got a puncture. Yeah. No. So, and I had the same thing at the last round at Snowshoe as well in the qualifying run.
But at this point, 2021,
yeah,
like you're competing against obviously Jackson, who had an amazing year, juniors, and it's just you and your brother.
Me, my brother, and my dad.
Out of van.
Yeah. Literally it, really. So, yeah. Just travelling around. Like, we're still pretty new to it, so I wasn't clued into it. Like, I don't think we changed the bike once that year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good point, man. Like, you are so new to all that stuff.
Exactly.
So you're rocking up, like, obviously looking at what other people are doing, trying to replicate it, how they put together race runs, how you practice, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, like...
What's, like, one takeaway you think you got in 2021 that made you a better racer?
I think watching a lot of people and, they're actually quite clever with their lines. They go around things that will break your bikes, whereas I was trying to go through them. Right. And it wasn't happening.
Okay.
So I think that was quite a big one because I was bad for, it's like, oh, my luck's terrible, but it's not. You can ride around it sort of thing. Like a lot of the racers have quite smart heads on.
This is like what Dan Wolf talked about loads, right? About, just looking at the ground and figuring out a way to go around stuff rather than just mash through it.
So you feel like you've developed that during that year.
Yeah.
In what way was that? Like watching people in practice, or like literally changing the way you look at a track?
A lot of like just changing the way you look at a track. Like now I can look at a track. It's going to be completely fresh. I've never seen this track before. I can see exactly where each line will form and stuff. And then I'll come around to practice, and every single line that I've envisioned in my head is there. Like from all that experience, you can now picture how everyone's going to ride the track, where all the braking bumps are going to form. Yeah. You see like a rough section, like, that bit's going to get cut out, but this line will end up running good. Right. But it will take like a little while.
Got you.
So you can kind of just see all that stuff now and almost predict how to ride. Yeah. Which is pretty gnarly actually.
So 2021 finishes up.
Yeah.
And where do you finish overall?
I think I finished just outside the top 10. I think I finished 11th.
Okay.
Yeah.
But 11th fastest junior in the world.
Yeah.
Quite gnarly.
Yeah. And that
going.
It's quite gnarly.
I think that last race was my best result too. That was the one where I got 5th.
And you go to every round too?
I did that, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think like having a lack of sort of build up in terms of like other races helped? In that you weren't doing like years on a national circuit, you just came straight in, stormed in, won a load. Right, let's get me to World Cups. Because to me, a World Cup's always been a little bit like unattainable. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, I couldn't get to nationals. Yeah. So then nationals felt unattainable. A World Cup's like 2 steps on. It's like I'd normally go. In my head, I was like, well, I have to race nationals, do well at nationals, then do some Euro rounds, and then do a World Cup, and I'll be ready. Yeah. So it always felt so far away, whereas it's like you've literally just steamed in.
You got the fast track.
It's so, and that's so cool.
The fast
I think
track
it's a
pass.
really healthy way of doing it because you don't build up all of those, like, you probably don't put certain riders on as much of a pedestal as like.
That's true.
Yeah.
I guess there's not everyone can do it either, right? I guess
totally.
There's that as well.
Yeah, I think what helped the most of that was just the motocross, the fact that I'd done nationals and then you go straight to EMX, which is like worlds. Yeah. So if you compare it to motocross, it's just the same thing. Yeah. You got nationals and you got worlds. Like, never raced any other European stuff on motocross really. Just done nationals and worlds.
Yeah. Straight in.
Yeah. See,
quite unique.
I think a lot of it is like you end up blocking paths because you put barrier. Like definitely for me, I thought, well, I'm just not one of those guys. Whereas you've already been one of those guys, just in a slightly different sport. I don't know.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose so. Like, well, it's just I assumed from motocross, I just was like getting the same results at mountain bike nationals as motocross nationals.
Yeah.
And I know I can race worlds at motocross and qualified at worlds. So why can't I do that at mountain bike if I'm getting the same results at nationals? So I suppose it just gives you that confidence just to go and send it.
That's
big
mega
confidence
cool.
game.
That is mega cool though. I think, and I think that's probably that's something that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
Like that's probably one of the, from the outside, that would be one of the things that the biggest takeaways from you, like doing all of these years, like none of it's come free. You've done all of these fucking years of like all of these races, all of these like different things.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Really cool. 2022, first year elite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh God.
What's that? Oh God.
A lot of memorizing. I can't even remember this.
Really? You can't okay. I'd remember racing Elite World Cups, but
Dude, I know.
That's just me.
It's so rad. I love it. It's so good.
I'm trying to think. I feel like it's because I've got last year fresh in my head.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're like,
did it feel like a step up or not? You're on the same track. The same people are racing.
It's a lot harder. Elite is a lot harder than
Why?
junior. It's a whole. I feel like you could be the top junior, but elite could make or break you for sure. So it's just a lot more people. The times are a lot tighter. Just the racing's just harder.
So in 2022, you did a year then without the semis and the.
Yeah.
So you did that last. You did the last one, obviously, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it then? Was it top 60 finals? Was it? I can't
Yes.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Top 60. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think where the first race was that year.
It's top 80 quali, top 60 finals. Is that correct?
No, that year, I've never raced when it's been top 80.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go.
It was 60.
Yeah, 60. So instead of having like the semis that we had this year or last year, sorry, it was just you do your qualifying run. If you're in the top 60, that's it. You're in for the finals.
Yeah.
Which was still at the time it was tight. I think like there would be 150 odd people, and like 100 of them are quick enough to qualify.
Yeah.
So it is still quite intense. But yeah, that year, I think that year was easier than the year just gone, 23.
Had your deal changed at all as going into it, like with Space or anything like that? Did you get more support for 2022?
Yeah, Special just seems to keep supporting me every year. I mean, I really enjoy working with brands that I like.
Yeah.
Like if I got an offer with a brand that I don't like, I wouldn't take it because I find I can't promote something if I don't even like it myself.
Yeah.
Because I will only use stuff that I believe in.
Mm-hmm.
So I do quite like making long-time relations with sponsors.
Yeah.
Because, it just shows that
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
dude.
not going to change.
We literally just had the same conversation before, didn't we? About long-term partnerships are like the one.
Yeah,
for sure. If you can, obviously.
Because, just loyalty. And it shows that, I do think their products are good products.
Yeah.
So they seem to be almost giving me the same in return and just giving me more support.
Okay.
Which is really good. They've been honestly amazing. Really, really helpful.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Cool. So a little bit better support coming into 2022.
Yeah.
Season on a whole, if we could summarise it.
It was actually pretty good.
Because I know you're struggling to remember it.
Yeah. No, I remember one standout race for that year for me was at Andorra. I got 35th and I was stoked with that.
Wow.
Super stoked with that.
I mean, that's unreal, isn't it? That's just outside TV time. And like nowadays, fighting for TV time.
Yeah.
Like top 30 is no joke, eh?
No, well, I was stoked on that 35th. And now if I got like 35th, you're not even in the finals, you're like, oh, it's rubbish. You're 35th in the world and you're like, that's rubbish.
Yeah, it's kind of changed it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed it a lot, I think.
Yeah. So okay, let's fast forward then, because like, especially with that season just gone, so 2023, rule changes come in.
Yeah.
Are you like aware of like, okay, this could change a bit? It does
Yeah.
change something for you as a privateer because you're trying to get TV time, so...
Yeah, I think the hardest thing is you got to make your bike last that time, and it's very quick turnarounds in between the races.
Yeah.
Especially if you get like near the back, you have to like go straight back up for your next run pretty much.
Okay.
But I was quite looking forward to it because going back to the whole fitness thing, I was like, oh, everyone's going to be bonking out and I'm going to be fresh. So I was quite looking forward to it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I was pretty clued in on like all the changes and stuff. I knew what was happening. That off season as well, that's when I done all the testing, so I knew I could change all my bike and stuff. You know, I went to the IXS at the start of the season
which is where you guys went.
Yeah, for a little pre-season race
Tune
test
up
and stuff. So I took that season pretty seriously. Actually, I done quite a lot.
Yeah.
So ended up getting some decent results.
Yeah.
Some alright ones. I can't remember what my best one was though. I'm not very good with remembering all this little detail stuff.
Remember the things that matter though. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I didn't even think I could say a number. I think I'm already like so focused on what's next.
Yeah.
That I just forget what's
It's moving forward,
happened.
dude.
Yeah.
It's moving forward. It's behind now.
Like I've got so much in the pipeline that I like can't even think about what's happened.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to what's coming up next.
Okay. All right.
What are the things you reckon that you get from Moto that you bring to downhill racing that helps you the most? Do you think about that or not really? Just think about going quick.
Not too much. I do think being comfortable at high speeds. I find I'm really like, doesn't faze me at all, where some other people like will touch the brakes here and there and I'm like, just not even quick, it's fine.
Yeah, I would be touching my brakes, I think.
Yeah, same.
Bit. I think high speed
Yeah.
for me definitely is like...
Do you think a certain track favours you more than others? Because I think, you know, we have like bike park tracks now.
Yeah.
I guess from the outside looking in, you'd be better on a technical, rutty track or...
Yeah, so I find fast tracks, obviously, pretty good on them.
Yeah.
And very rough tracks, just because the whole strength thing. I just like don't really get tired, so I just keep going.
Super athlete, man.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the whole motocross thing.
Yeah.
Like motocross is such a physical sport that if you can do a 30-minute moto, you're like 5 minutes downhill is like walk in the park after that. It's a different kind of fitness. Like motocross, all your muscles will go all tense up and stuff, and you're not as breathing as heavy. Whereas mountain biking, you get to the bottom of that run, you've just sprinted to the finish, and you like cannot breathe.
Yeah.
Because you've just used all your oxygen for that last little sprint. So
2023, good year, would you say?
it was an okay year.
Okay.
I would have liked to be in the top 30 for sure.
Did you make a top 30?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I
Okay.
made a lot of
I'm sorry, I should have known that, but
no, I made a lot of semis, but I would have liked to make a final.
which is still
What was your...
Fucking cool, man.
You were 30-something?
yeah, I think so. I can't remember what.
No. We should really have done the research. Also, you should probably know. But
yeah.
Yeah.
It's on us both.
But he's on to the next thing. I respect that. But I think you got a top 30. You were in the top 30s, weren't you?
Yeah, I think I might have had like another similar sort of like 36. Sort
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is right there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. Well, like the difference, like if I took a second off my time, I'd probably be in the top 20s. Like it's not much.
Where do you see the difference now? I'm hyped for you coming to this season, dude.
Oh, yeah.
What is the difference? What would you say visibly? Because I know you look at this stuff. What is the difference between you and someone who's consistently top 30?
Ooh, that's a tricky one actually, I think, because there's not much in it. I find one big thing I find with the people who are especially consistent, they're very good at knowing how fast you can hit a section. Like with the whole, going back to the whole braking thing, they know exactly where to brake and where to get off and where you can push and where you need to be a bit more safer. Because I find I still sometimes try to push in places you shouldn't push.
Right,
And
yeah.
it will bite me. I'll make a mistake or have a crash or something. Whereas a lot of the people who are consistently up there know like every single inch of track where they can push a bit harder. And where it's better to maybe like just be a bit smoother, you actually end up being quicker.
Where the ceiling is kind of thing.
I find that I learned that quite a bit last year actually.
Have any riders been like super helpful to you? Kind of helping you through this process a little bit?
Trying to think. Cade's been really nice actually.
Yeah.
Cade Edwards.
Yeah.
Spoke to him quite a lot. He's a super cool guy.
Because it must be weird, like you say, coming from Moto where everyone keeps themselves to themselves.
Yeah.
And then you could probably on track walk go talk to
Pretty much.
talk to Bernard and be like, what are you doing down here? Do you
Yeah,
think?
I have been speaking to Bernard a lot
Yeah.
at World Cups actually as well. He's been super helpful too.
Yeah.
pretty much anyone. You can talk to any of them. They're all super nice guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good actually.
So we're coming into 2024. What's the season look like?
That was that had atmosphere then,
Didn't it?
I felt like
Can we add a bit more bass to my voice on that? Is that
it was like a drama.
Yeah.
So,
mate, we got a horse in the race. I'm like stoked. I really am. I'm looking forward to the season.
I am.
already.
Yeah.
Like we got a few horses in the race, but we got a real one.
Yeah.
Like a legit
racehorse as well, dude.
Yeah. A racehorse. So what's 2024 looking like? Like what can you talk about? Anything that you've got in place?
I've got loads of videos in place, video shoots, a lot of that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, a lot of them. But I think with this year, with World Cups and stuff, I'm just going to go like have the most fun riding my bike on the best tracks in the world.
Yeah.
Because I find when I'm having fun riding my bike, that is when I'm quickest. Like, because you're just always into it.
Yeah.
You always are pushing. I find myself when I'm having fun, I just keep pushing harder and harder. So I'm just going to go have some fun with it. Go push the limits whilst.
Do you sort of like enjoy the underdog bit of mentality? Like you're
Yeah,
a
to be
privateer,
fair,
you like that?
I kind of love it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I think being on a team and stuff would be sick. I think it'd be an environment that would push you to that next step. But to experience it as a privateer as well is like, it's a whole different thing almost. So I do really like it.
It's cool.
Yeah.
What's like the hardest thing about being a privateer?
Probably actually all the admin.
Really?
Oh my God. So much planning and I hate it.
No way.
I absolutely hate it.
So you obviously you got supportive parents.
Yeah.
We get that. Your mum's out there hustling, she's trying to put deals together.
Yeah.
Management teams in full effect. But you booking everything like flights.
So
like you're going through and doing all that stuff.
especially this year is all me.
Is it?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like last year as well, I funded most of it.
Yeah.
So
that's through working through the off season or
yeah,
what?
So I always people always make fun of me because I always do. They always like, why are you on like a side quest every single off season? Because I've worked so many different weird jobs. Like, I think
side quest.
Yeah. Well, so I was at like because this off season as well, I got my coaching qualification for mountain bike coach.
Oh right,
And then
okay.
I was
different coach.
Yeah. So I'm qualified mountain bike coach now as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I just do everything, don't I?
Everything. Coach.
Driver coach.
Yeah.
Everything coach.
It's just coach stuff.
Yeah. So I had a friend there, and he was like, "Why are you always on just the maddest side quests every winter?" Because like the winters before, I was at like working at Domino's doing delivery driving and stuff.
Yeah.
Fastest delivery driver in Bracknell.
No doubt, mate.
Yeah.
I do not doubt that at all. They are on a downhill bike as well.
They absolutely love me there. They love me so much.
I bet. Were you on like a C90?
No, I was in a car.
Oh, you're in a car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah. Funny
A
enough.
drift car.
No, it was my mum's car.
She's gonna listen.
I did have a car, and then I done one day in it, and I was like, "Oh, this is awful for the car. Let's take my mum's." So yeah, she was not happy because her car always smelled of pizza
and burnt rubber.
Yeah, and clutch.
Only safe driving.
So usually then you'll race the season and then come back and then get a job to fund the next season. Is that pretty much how we're rolling at the moment?
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much it.
Okay.
And we're even coming back between races and hustling in between, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Did this job you're at now, the coach company, not coaching, coach driving, coach cleaning, are they aware that it's like you're off racing? Are they supportive?
Yeah,
That's cool.
like they're super, super supportive.
Really?
They're being like super flexible for me.
Nice.
Which is the issue when I come to off season and need to find a job. Trying to find something that flexible is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky, really. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Working all season, or off season, saving money, and then going. That's the real privateer life, isn't it?
It's the story, yeah. It is the
story.
privateer life.
Yeah, it is.
You're right. Well, we're rooting for you. I'm sure everyone listening is rooting for you. Where can everyone find
Big
you?
time.
Find me.
We need to get the
I got
companionship
one more question.
on board. Yeah.
Aspirations for next year, 2024. What are you aiming for? What makes it a home run, standout season for? We're not going to say it. Pre-dog. Go on, say it.
So results wise,
Yeah.
I want to break into that top 20 for sure.
Yeah. Top
for
20.
sure.
Okay.
The top 20 result would be nuts. I'd be stoked.
Yeah.
I just want to like get across that finish line, turn around, see that result, and just be like buzzing. But I'm also planning on hopefully being able to pay for my girlfriend to come to all the races with me.
Nice.
And we're just literally just gonna go like have the funnest year racing. Like, why not? If I can afford to bring everyone out with me,
yeah.
you know, we'd literally just go have like the best times racing, and hopefully the results will come along with it. So,
Mate, yeah, you think
that's
that'd
my
make
goal.
it? That'd just give you that extra bit of fun.
Yeah,
Someone
I
else
think so.
there rooting for you.
Yeah, now's the time as well. Get it done. That'd be wicked.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
man, rooting for you big time. Honestly,
Yeah.
legit.
So, but yeah, just having fun all year. I think this year's just gonna be a fun year all round. Racing, video projects.
You're on the same bike.
Yeah,
Spesh.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Any other sponsors joining you that you want to do a shout out for? Or?
So I've got Uncrafted UK kit sponsor. He's actually been super supportive as well. Comes
Yeah.
to some of the World Cups and films, some videos and whatnot, and always sorts me out with like custom kits and stuff.
Yeah.
So might have some stuff in the pipeline.
Custom kits.
Yeah, custom
Cool.
kits are sick. Custom kits are so sick.
Is there anything? Okay. Is there anything that you like would help you at this point? Is there anything that you're like, okay, I just need someone to help me with this thing?
That's a tough one.
I know I don't want you to sound like you're
Skrilla.
like, yeah,
Cheddar.
Yeah, always.
HSBC listener.
Yeah, always short on that.
Yeah.
That is a struggle. I tell you what would like save you half your funds would be like a fuel card. God,
Okay.
the amount
Yeah.
of money I must spend on fuel
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think like, you know, I'd spend like my whole monthly paycheck on fuel
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
British Cycling's on Shell, isn't it?
I believe it is. Just gotta wear the jersey, mate.
Stop, imagine that. Fuel card, BC. Nice.
Yeah, I could imagine like the amount of money you'd save if you had a fuel
Yeah.
card.
So, a big one for you is help with travel, basically.
travel,
Like,
yeah, that's the killer. Travel, everything about traveling is just so expensive.
yeah. Are you normally staying at the tracks? Are you Airbnb in?
Usually just book a hotel.
Hotel.
Try and get
a nice.
near the track.
Yeah.
Because it's always nice to go back and have a shower and whatnot.
Yeah.
I actually ended up last year booking a hotel and not being able to like sleep in it. Like I paid for my brother and my dad to come out
Yeah.
as well, so I was like booking all the hotels and paying for all of that. And I was like, I paid a lot for this hotel, way too much. It was really bad actually, and I hated it in there.
Really?
Yeah, like I paid ridiculous money because it was near the track. And I was like, look, you two just have it. I'll sleep in the van.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was like, I cannot stay in there.
Why did you hate it?
I don't know. I just,
Oh, I love this.
it was just like such a small room, and like
Oh, okay,
it was
right.
sleeping close to someone. Like the bed was uncomfy, and I was like, I just need my van.
Yeah.
I just want my bed. Like it was like, you two have it. I was just all, you know.
All right. So there's definitely a few things there that you need help with, which we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people are listening. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, no, it should be a fun year. I think
Yeah, man.
Hyped for you.
Big time.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, dude. Where can people follow you?
On Instagram or TikTok, it's at Preston Williams
TikTok
377. Yeah, I love TikTok. And then YouTube is Preston Williams TV.
Oh yeah, you got
Yeah.
some YouTube stuff happening.
Yeah. I got a video actually now that I'm waiting to post.
Okay.
Waiting for a new sponsor reveal before I post it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
What could it be?
yeah. But yeah, I don't know when this video is going out, so I don't know
No,
if I
it's
can
true.
say
It
it.
might
in this
already
one.
happened.
Yeah, it might have
Yeah.
already happened. If so, it'll be on your YouTube channel.
It will be.
So that'll be cool.
Thanks for coming in. You've got to get back to work, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Clock's ticking.
it's gonna be a late one tonight as well. I think it's
Is
like
it?
it's like a 2 a.m. finish.
Is it?
Yeah.
What people do?
And then back in tomorrow?
At 2 a.m., man.
Rail replacement.
Oh, yeah.
Back in tomorrow?
Nah, luckily I have Tuesday off. Back in on
Okay.
Wednesday.
Back in on Wednesday.
So
Intervals tomorrow.
yeah.
It's the, li-
The life.
it's
Good
the
on
life of a privateer. It's
Yeah.
been fun to learn more, dude. Honestly, rooting for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
been
we've
got
great
our
being in
full
it.
support. Yeah, check him out. Like and subscribe.
you. Peace and love.
What an episode! You did really well there.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know what would finish it off?
But
If you could put some sort of link over my face.
yeah, I can do that. I could put
Is
a
that
video up on Ollie's face of an episode we think you'll love.
Is it on now?
There is a subscribe button here on this chair, and on my face, another video we think you'll love. Thank you. We appreciate you.
There's nothing in the chair now. Subscribe.